Hello guys, hello guys, hello guys. Today we have a cloudy day and it's slightly snowing, just a few little flakes floating through the air outside. We're indirectly gonna use work with this one. I always need more ephemera. You saw all the bird pictures and everything, and I'm gonna do another bird journal, but we're gonna work with stamps today. We're gonna make ephemera in a few different ways, and we're gonna use stamps in a few different ways. One of my favorite things to use when I do stamping is one of these old mouse pads, because they are kind of flexible. It's a plus way and a negative way. One thing is, if your stamp is slightly, if your stamp is slightly, uneven, if you do it on a hard surface, you might not get the full stamp. If you do it on a soft surface, you will get the full stamp, but you will also get the edges of the stamp. I don't mind getting the edges, so I prefer to do it on this one. Not always, but a lot of times, and especially if I'm just doing stamps, going on this flexi. We're also going to use some just blank papers. Also have some packaging paper here that I cut down, and we're going to use a lot of, I have some just regular printer paper too that I've cut down, and all of that stuff. And of course we're going to use stamps. For the first part, it's going to be easier if you have these smaller types of stamps. You have those, and I have that, and I have that, and my reds are missing. Why is my reds missing? There, wait, so my red, and I have one more that I have apparently eaten up. And then I have the bigger stamp pads too. So you don't need all of this, just two colors to get these kind of different effects. And I'm gonna move you slightly. So I'm just gonna start there, and you can grab any type of stamp you have. Bigger stamp is more fun to use, but I'm gonna just grab a few of my stamps. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna start with this one because I haven't used this one yet. It's Kitty Cats, because I'm doing a cat journal too. I have a lot of journals on the go right now, and I'm just gonna grab one of these, the little kitty cat. Let me grab my acrylic block here. There we go. So what I'm doing, I'm placing it to, oh wow, you have moved. Let's do this better. There we go. So I'm placing it kind of to the edge because I find it easier to kind of control where you are if you need to. Now I'm going to place several stamps on this paper. So I'm going to, go from, to get the most, to use the paper the most amount of way. Now we couldn't just do a simple cat, one colored cat. Like that. Now I do have my rag is missing, and I wipe off because I always tend to get ink on the pad, and I don't want that. So and I do this. I usually stand up when I stamp to get the most amount of pressure, and I get a pretty good stamp like that. But it's kind of one colored and could be a bit dull, so to give it a bit more oomph, so I'm kind of stamping. Now I'm using Wild Honey. It's one of my favorite colors. Wild Honey and Vintage Photo. These two are my favorites, and I don't want to be without them. So I use that one in the center. Then I'm kind of going around the edges. This is why I like the small ink pads, because you can kind of use like that. Then I use two colors. Let's print it, press it, and I'm going to leave a little bit of space. There we go. And we have a little bit of different color cat. I got a little bit of a thing from the ink pad on there. There we go. Got that way. Now I want to do something different. Let's play with the colors a bit. Let's use the yellow one in the center again. And I make a lot of green journals, so let's use a bit of green here. And it's a lot clumsier when and let's use a bit of black. the side here. It's a lot trickier to use a big pad, and my black isn't as juicy as the other colors, so it will be kind of faint, but I'm kind of going around the edges of the cat with this, kind of like that. So let's stamp it. And there we have a different color cat, like that. And you get a lot of, you know, fun colors and stuff like that. Now, I played yesterday a lot with leaves and did different colors, different color combination. And as you can see, I pressed down pretty hard, so it kind of smushed the stamp a bit. But it doesn't matter because I cut them out. And I've done a few different ones. Let's see the tracker here. I used black, brown, red, and yellow, kind of diagonal on this one. I don't know how well the colors come up. And here I played a lot with different colors. One color at the center and different on the outside. And then I cut it out and I got a lot of nice little decorational figures like this. And for this one, it was tricky to cut out all the leaves. So some are missed and I cut them off completely. And you can't really tell that some of the leaves are missing there. So these are for my Easter cards. Let's remove those because those are going for a different thing. So I did some birds and this bigger stamps. I used multiple colors again. I used some brown in the center. I used some green and some red. I don't know how well you can see that. So these are a few, and just doing a stamp and cutting it out like that makes a really nice decoration that you can use for your so let me just show you some more stuff you can do, and I'm gonna pause you a little bit. Okay, so now I'm back. So I cut out this colorful little kitty that we made, and it's really cute and it's very practical. Now you can just use it as is, and we used 3 types of stamps. We used the yellow stamp, the green stamp, and we went around the edges with the black stamp. Now I also done the cat in the palest stamp color I have, which is this one that says old paper. This one, Versacolor Petal Pink, is also really good to use just to get kind of an outline so you have a little bit to go for. And I'm gonna oh, I'm bleeding. Sorry. Sorry about that. Hang on. Okay, so now I cleaned everything and put a band-aid on, so now we can continue. So I did a faint print of the kitty cat again, and compared to these guys that I haven't cut out yet. I also did this beautiful little squirrel. I love squirrels. And since I'm doing a squirrel journal, I'm going to need this. And I also did a faint print of that one that we're going to color in different ways. And I also did this flower one. For this stamp, I did the green and red. Green on the leaves and red on the top. And then I did a faint one to use as kind of, it's almost like a coloring book. So let's start with the kitty cat, since we've been doing the kitty cat. Let's zoom in a little bit. Now, to color the cat in, you can use like different fine liners. I'm gonna need to zoom back out again, sorry. In and out. Here we go. Fine liners. If you want to use like fantasy colors, you can use like very bright colors. What are those called that you kind of highlighter? Is that, I think this is a highlighter, right? Is that neon dual highlighter? Yes, that's what they called, highlighter. I do have a different highlighter here. It's this one. It's Faber-Castell. It's a kind of a pen highlighter. These comes in different colors too, if you want a really bright one, or you can use silver, or you can use gold and like stuff like that. Or like one of these with a lot of different, you don't need to use a Harry Potter one, but one of these with a lot of different colors. or something like these also work really nice to color them in and give them a bit of a shape and a little bit of a fine line. So you can use, where did I put them? There, crayons. It's also really nice. I would recommend using dry medium and not kind of a wet medium, simply because these inks are not they are water soluble. So if you use like watercolor or something, it's gonna spread. It's gonna re-wet. No, what's the word I'm looking for here? Re-wet. It's gonna make the ink kind of floaty. You can also use, where are they? There they are. Watercolor pencils, but you don't need to add water. You can use color pencils, all of that stuff. This is kind of what I prefer to use, but today we're gonna start with using kind of like these. I thought I had a one that was brown. That was this one, and it's just kind of drowned on me. It's brown. I have so much stuff here. I need to clean my desk again. Too many projects going on. I'm just happy I'm crafting again. It puts me in such a good mood. I love crafting. I don't know where it is. Oh, we can use orange, and we can use this and this too. Yeah, let's go with that. Let's color in our little kitty cat. I want to make very green eyes, and I only found this one that's very bright. Maybe we use this one. Oh, and I don't want to use this soft, because I will go through. Let's put this underneath, because if I use soft underneath and I press harder, I will just make a hole in the paper, and I don't want to do that. This is just kind of a thin notebook paper, so I'm making the eyes really bright. Come here, come hither. And I want to do the pupil, and let's make it kind of big pupil there. There we go. And kind of fill in the nostrils and the little mouth there. So that's what I'm going to do with the black so far, and then we're going to go in with little colors here, kind of follow lines a bit, just giving it a little bit more oomph. I really prefer to use colored pencils because they are a little bit more, they're less intense. So there we go. There we go. We just kind of play a little bit. And there we go. We kind of play, and I kind of follow the direction that the fur would have on the cat. So there we go. Here we go. There we go. And here we have the front leg, so I'm going a little bit straighter there. And we have this leg here, kind of, at least. And we have a little orange cat. And then I'm gonna go in with a different orange. Add different lines, and if you have different thicknesses too, that also awesome. Maybe we should mix in some color pencils in this, some crayons maybe. Yum 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 yum. Do you have any cats? I have an orange boy, I showed him on some of my Instagram, and I think you've seen him in a video too. I think. I'm not sure. My little kitty cat. He's old. He is he turning 13 this year, I think? 12, 13. He's getting old. And he sleeps a lot. He still likes to hunt his little mice and stuff. I'm gonna use this one too. Different orange again. Very similar to the first one, but it's kind of thicker. Where's the tail going? Is it underneath the paws? It's kind of looking weird. Just kind of a little paw here, and we got the front paw here, and we got the back paw. Looks kind of weird. I don't know. There we go. And I want to use something a little bit, brown. I don't know how brown this one would be. Oh, it's very brown. Let's use a little bit brown here. Should we make a pink nose? I just want to make a really bright pink nose. Let's use this one and make a very pink nose. Very pink nose. There we go. There we go. And let's put a little pink there. Little pink nose. And I'm gonna keep doing the brown. And we do a little bit brown here. Shoof, shoof, shoof. Shoof, 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 shoof. Shoof, 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 shoof. And we go. Little paw there, a little paw there, and we go flip, 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 flip. I'm not completely happy with the way it looks right now, but it's gonna look good. In the end, it's gonna look okay. And it gives it a bit personal touch. And I'm gonna go around the eyes. I don't have my, let me see. Oh, it went flying. Let me just check. No, that one's not good. I think all my black fine liners are in the kitchen, because that's where I sit when I sketch. I usually sit in the kitchen, on my kitchen couch. I want a black fine liner. Okay, let's use the black on this one. Let me just check. Yep. Okay, yeah, and I'm gonna go around the eyes to kind of make them pop a bit more. There we go. There we go. And I'm filling in the eyes. There we go. The eyes. There we go. I actually want to go in with the pens. Where did I put? I got way too much stuff where you could lose a big thing with pens. Big tin thing with pens. Okay, I have my crayons there, and I have those crayons over there. And I feel like I'm making sounds when I move on the seat. My butt is making funny sounds. This is, okay, yeah, I'm looking for my pencils. Of course I am. Oh goodness, I bet you were screaming at me. I want to use that one, and I'm gonna use that one. And yes, I know it's watercolor pencils, but hey, I'm gonna use a yellow one. So I'm gonna use those and just kind of give it a bit more fluff. There we go. Oh, and I need to make little whiskers. We need whiskers, right? We follow the whiskers here. There we go. And we need some whiskers on this side too. There we go. I want to make some more dots here. There. Whee! It's so cute. It's so cute. Little cutie poofy poof. And we're going to make it really fluffy. And it's almost like a little tiger here. I'm going to leave it very light around the nose. Yeah, come on. And we're doing very floofy. So, there we go. And I want to use a bit more brown to make it a bit darker in here. There we go. And we're making a little bit darker under the chin. Under the chin, it's gonna be a little bit darker, my little fluffy kitty cat. And it's usually a bit darker here in the center. Unless it's very tigery, isn't it? It's very tigery. My little floofy. And now I'm just filling in the white spots here. Makes it look less splodgy, kind of. And there, and I want some more yellow on the tail here. There we go. And I'm gonna use a bit more dark here to put a little bit more shadow underneath it, kind of. And there we go. Giving it a little bit more of a, where it's sitting. There, a little bit background maybe is what I'm thinking. Am I on? I forgot to check if I'm on. I want some more orange. A little bit more orange color in the. There we go. There we go. There we go. We have a little colored kitten. How cute is that? Little kitty cat. Okay, so we are gonna do our squirrel. Where is my squirrel? There is the very colorful. Now, even if it's very intense stamp like that one is still brown. If you do it black, it's gonna be more intense, but you can still go in and add some details, like some black in the eye maybe. So you do the eye, kind of, we follow it. It's like a coloring book almost, and it's very relaxing to fill it in. And then you might do a little extra around the nose and around the mouth. You might add some darker whiskers to make that pop a bit more. You might want to add a little bit of lighter color in the ears here, like maybe so. Maybe you want to add a bit of different colors all over. So even stamps that are very dark, like for these, I used stamps that leave a lot of room for coloring. So for example, let's make this really bright one. So you might want to go in and color it up like that. So these are very easy to put some nice color into and make very personal and make them all. So you can make the stamp in like just a black stamp, several, and then color them in differently. very easily. And you might add some other colors to this. You might want to add a little bit of brown, maybe. Maybe you want to add a bit more of these words. Veins. Veins is the word I'm looking for here. You might want to add a bit more veins to this, or, you know, make it a bit more stuff like that. But even these that are very filled in, you can add a lot more color. You can make them, you know, a little bit more personal. Make them all, you can stamp many and color them in slightly differently. So I'm adding kind of little orange like that, and you might add a little bit more brown. Maybe it's darker some places and lighter in some places, and just different colors. You can make a pink squirrel too if you want to, like that. And I believe it's holding a knot in the hands. Where did I put the brown marker? There, brown marker. So it's holding a knot, so I'm gonna color that one in a lot darker here, and I'm gonna add more, because you can always add more stuff. So now I'm adding so it's sticking out a bit like that. So making the knot bigger. It doesn't look like that. Where do I have the stamp? There. So that's the stamp. So you can't really see the knot very much here. So I'm kind of just added a bit more there. Maybe you add that it's sitting on a branch or something like that, and now it's, you know, you can cut it out or you can add more. So I'm gonna go in with some yellow, just a little bit of yellow here, tint to it. And because this is the European red squirrel, I believe it's called. I'm not sure. There are many types of squirrels. Some have more gray. I mean, this type of squirrel have a lot of different colors. I have one that's almost black. I have some that are like different shades of gray, and yes, different shades of gray. And I'm gonna add a bit more color to them. There we go. Adding. Here we go. We're adding some stuff here. So there. That is using a very colorful, strong stamp. I'm using Vintage Photos for that one. It's very juicy. It's refilled. And then you can use something like this that are a very faint one and color it in. And you lose a lot more of the stamp. You can do a lot more personalization. And you need to do the outlines if you want outlines with your own pencils or crayons or whatever you're choosing to use. I'm actually going to use crayons right now. And I'm just going to go in with some brown here. Very reddish brown. Because I feel that fits the squirrel quite a lot better than using black or anything like that. And I'm not going in and cover the whole thing. I'm just doing a little bit because I'm going to add multiple colors, because I find gives it a bit more life if I use multiple colors, similar colors. I'm actually going to do the eye, and I'm going to use this, just a regular pencil. I'm going to turn it around because I'm left-handed, and I find it easier to do this like that. And let's do, and gonna need some, it's very faint and I'm sitting kind of far away, otherwise you will have my head in the camera, and I don't think that would be appreciated. So I'm kind of just doing some very big eye there. And we're doing this. And then we're doing this. And I'm gonna do, I want to do the knot to a bit bigger on this, and I'm gonna use this one for that. So I'm going in with the knot here. It's a lot darker knot. So it's sticking out here again. There we go. There's my knot. There. There. It's holding a little knot, and it's a very big eye. Oh goodness, the eye is very, very big. There we go. We got some more ear here. We got some floof going on. And we got some floof going on. And we have the little rounded nose there. Yum, 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 yum. And we got the little paw there. Got another paw here. There we go. Here we go. And we have a very floofy belly. There. And we can add a little bit of a more yellowy color. Just adding. It's adding a lot of different colors, and especially if you're using crayons or colored pencils, gives it a lot more life to it. And we have that paw sticking out, and we have this paw here. Now you can put these in sharpeners too, so you can get a really sharp edge. I just don't find the reason to do so, because I need to press quite a lot to get nice color. This is just regular kids crayon. This is dollar store crayon. They don't have any paper on them, and I'm gonna use a very orange one. I'm gonna keep playing with the body. There we go. Fluffy ear, and a very fluffy ear here too. Adding a little bit of color on the head. And let's add some more brown to it. Him or her? What do you think? Is it a him or her? I don't know. There we go. And this one is more red, because I feel they are very red. At least my squirrels. I see them every day. I have one that is very light gray too, and he's so cute. And I have a dark gray one that are almost tame now. Doesn't really run away. It kind of checks me out when I open the door to go outside. Checks me out before it decides, am I gonna run or not? Yeah, is she dangerous? Is she gonna scare me today? Do I need to move? I love the food. Let's check the food out first. And it kind of thinks about it for a while before it takes off. Won't let me get too close though. I try not to disturb them. They are wild animals, and my worry, if they get very tame so you can get near them, that other people that are not kind will, you know, shoot them or something. So yeah, there we go. Very fluffy tail. Very fluffy tail. There we go. I have a very fluffy tail. And I'm gonna fill in the head a bit more. It's very fluffy. I love my little fluffy squirrel. Like that. There we go. There we go. There we have a little squirrel. And you can outline the little squirrel body if you want to, and you can cut it out, and you can do all things. For the flower here, I think I might use fine liners. I need different green fine liners. and then to fussy cut them out and to use them as decoration. And I mean, since you hand draw it, since you kind of sketch it up, and you don't have to follow, if you're using fine liners like I am now, you don't have to strictly follow the stamp. If you have a faint stamp, you can kind of make them your own. This one goes here, this one goes here, and we keep playing. And I'm not really doing, I'm more sketchy, so I'm kind of using, because you get totally different feel for it if you just kind of what am I how should I just kind of, you're doing the little sketchy thing, so you kind of don't, you don't strictly follow a line, like you're not like doing like this when you're making the leaves, kind of like that. Instead you kind of go this little, I don't know how to explain it. You kind of sketchy, you do little short bursts, and then you can easily, you know, use different colors. You can fill in more where you want more shadow when you don't do a massive line right away. And this one, this way you can change it up a little bit. You can add a leaf or something when you do little sketchy moves with your hand instead of making a very solid line. Hard to describe what I'm saying. There we have it, there. So I'm just doing one color right now. I'm gonna go in with different grains just to give it a bit more life. So I'm gonna keep going. I'll be right back. Okay, so here we are. That's what I got so far. And the little balls here, I'm gonna make them yellow. I say as I forgot to bring it. There it is. Looking for my little yellow pencil, fine liner. Yeah, fine liner. Yay! I know words. I know words. And I'm just doing little squiddly woodly, and the little faint ink gives the shadow, so I can just go over with it, and as long as I don't rub too hard or too long in one spot, it doesn't dissolve the stamp, so it doesn't, when you go in with, if you do a black stamp, this might smudge, and then it's better with crayons because they are drier than fine liners or markers or, you know, things like that. So crayons or this or pencils are better. That doesn't add any moisture. So we have that. I mean, this is kind of very different style. I want to add a bit more green. Do I really want to do some more green on that? I think I like it this way. I think I'm gonna add a bit more shade here because I'm thinking this will be and that's a little bit of shade here and a little bit of shade here, so I'm just making it a bit darker. I'm going in with the same pen, just making it a bit darker, like that. And I think this leaf will be behind here, so I'm making a little bit darker here. And there we go, like that. And this part here will go underneath too. And that part will be shaded by this. So I'm just doing a little bit of that. So I'm just adding, it gives a little bit more life to it. So I'm adding that, and this one could be underneath. I'm making this part darker. There we go. And I'm gonna make a little bit bigger leaf here. So you can add more leaves or less leaves. Well, less leaves is gonna be difficult, but you can add more leaves I added a few more little twigs up here than it is on the, where are we? There we are, on the real stamp. And it makes a big difference. And now this is really pretty to cut out or maybe rip out around it or something like that. So you can have a lot of fun with stamps. You can get a lot of fun little ephemera, decorations, stuff like that. So we have our kitty cat here. Where did I put my cutout kitty cat? Oh, moving stuff around here. And like I said, you can do a lot with just adding different stamp color. This one is really pretty here with the red and yellow. I really like that one. And the yellow and the green here. But if you don't have, if you only have one stamp pad, ink pad, I should say. If you only have, let's say, a black one, you can do a lot with that one. But you can also give your little stamps a little extra flair before you cut them out and make them really cute. I have a lot that I cut out. And I mean, you can cut them out and paint them afterwards if you want to. So here I have a lot that I made yesterday and I fussy cut. And yeah, come on. And I mean, for this one, just to color it in the different colors and stuff like that, you can use marker and crayons. You can make it so pretty, so pretty. What else do I have here? The trackers. And I mean, just even like boring stamps that are just straight lines. If you use different colors on your ink, it's going to make them very different. You can also highlight in different colors and all of that. Where did my cat go that I fussy cut out? It just, everything just drowns on this table right now. We did that. From me to you. I like that stamp. We have the cat right here, right? Oh, there it is. There it is. So just imagine a fussy cutting this cat out, or maybe do a little background, draw something fun back here, maybe a window, it's sitting on the windowsill, like stuff like that. It's so cute. So cute. Cutie, cutie, cutie. So, that was a little tip for today. I'm going to continue play here with my fine liners and my crayons and my stamp, and I'm going to cut a lot of stuff out. And I will see you again, hopefully tomorrow. See you guys. Bye.